Hi, my name's Kathleen, and this is another video from Road to Freedom Life Coaching. And today I wanted to talk about a subject that we all deal with on a daily basis. And that subject is pain. And I wanted you to think for a minute, as far back as you can remember anyway, because many of us can't remember much about our childhood. But if you can remember, think about a time where you felt just happy and free. I can remember being a little one on a beach and feeling very happy and free. I can remember laying on my tummy in the grass and looking for that secret world of bugs down in there, which was really fun when you're a kid, or picking what my little sisters and I would call sour power flowers, which I need to find out the real name of those someday. But we would pick them and we would put the stem in our mouth, and they were very sour stems. And so I remember things like that from being little. And but if you don't have any of those memories, think about a little one you have in your life right now, a baby to a toddler age, and think about how free those little ones are. They're just happy. They're just going for life. They love to be these little scientists all the time. They just continually explore. They don't want to have a nap because they don't want to miss anything. And when they wake up in the morning, they are so happy to be awake and start the day and go, 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 go. So, do you feel like that anymore? Feel like you can't wait to get up in the morning? If you have a chance to have a nap, are you so excited about life that you don't want to? What happened? What happened to that little kid you were? Well, there's a couple different things that happen. One of them is we are in a different brainwave pattern from where we were when we were real tiny. And so that has changed. But another thing that happens to us along the way, when that brain pattern changes, we start noticing things around us that can be a little bit scary. So maybe we heard our parents get in an argument, or maybe we heard them be worried about not having enough money, or worried that they do have enough money, too much money, and they don't know what to do with it, and they don't know where to invest it. Arguing about what to spend money on. So there's a lot of fear little ones start to pick up just around money. There are fears we pick up in school when we're going to school. There are fears of, after the first time that teacher embarrassed us in front of the whole class. Maybe we didn't do the assignment right, or we didn't understand what she was saying or he was saying, and they were having a bad day, and so they would take it out on the little one. And all of these things start helping us to get in a space of being afraid. And now we're not sure what's coming up in life. And so we start searching for ways to protect ourselves. And what I wanted to talk about, and we'll be talking about today, is pain. Now, from the time we're very young, our parents usually do all they can to keep us away from any kind of pain. That seems to be almost like the guiding force sometimes. Don't let the child get hurt. Don't do this. Don't do that. And you might get hurt if you do that. And so pain became this thing of this really, really bad thing, and you got to stay away from that at all costs. And it's just a very frightening thing in life. And so what happens as we grow, we start looking at pain and we start trying to avoid it at all costs. But, you can avoid it somewhat. I mean, you can learn things like don't pick up that hot pan. That one, we have physical pain that can tell us that. We have, different pain that we come to understand that don't go down that hill on your bike because you're probably going to wreck. We learn things like that. Or like my little sisters and I, we would have our roller skates on and we would go down a hill. And if you didn't catch the electric pole before you hit the alley, you would more than likely go into the old man's big cactus. And so you found a way to really grab hold of that pole. And so what I wanted to talk about was how pain is not something to torment us in life. The fact is that pain is a great blessing for us in life. And if you're ready, if you want to have a deeper understanding of what you're doing here and how to have a happier life, then one of the things that we need to, as humans here, understand is pain. And when you think about pain, whether it's a physical pain and you've learned to avoid things, or you think about, emotional pain, perhaps you've been really hurt in a relationship, you can see why we want to avoid these things. But pain isn't here for us to avoid. Pain is here because pain is a gift for us to know. It's like a blinking sign that says, heads up, you got a lesson here. Wake up, wake up. And we set this pain up for ourselves in life, so we will wake up and we will understand that we are really trying to learn something here. So whether the pain is excruciating in a physical sense or whether it's excruciating in an emotional, a mental sense, it really is all for our learning. One of the things that brings us the most pain in life is, well, let's take an example. Let's say you meet someone and this person is absolutely wonderful. You have so much in common, and you say all the right things to each other, and you seem to be this wonderful match for each other, and you decide to live your life together. And you're in that stage of the relationship where it's all very exciting and there's a lot of sexual tension, and you just can't believe how wonderful this person is. And time goes by, maybe you've had a child or two, and all of a sudden this person doesn't seem so wonderful anymore. In fact, you're having a very hard time understanding some of the things they are doing in life, and it's certainly not matching with you. And so what's happening here is there's a lesson for us to get to understand and learn more about living here, learn more about what it means to love, learn more about what it means to hurt. There's a big lesson here. A big part of the lesson is, what is your worth? Is your worth just in how many friends you have, how much money you have, that you've had a relationship for a really long time and you've not gotten a divorce or you've not broken up? I mean, what tells you your worth? And so you're in this relationship and you're in pain, and a good way to help yourself be in even more pain is to not accept what's right in front of you, to not accept the fact that you are not matching with this person anymore, and you want to just push it under a rug. You don't want to deal with this because you can't even handle the thoughts that come after that, and so we try to not look at it. A lot of times people will get in fights, they will argue, and then they will have great make-up sex, and the woman will feel like, oh, okay, I feel loved again. And the man will feel maybe like, well, she's quiet again, I have some peace again. So what is really going on? You get in these relationships and they just seem wonderful, and then something just happens. Well, many, many times we set up relationships for ourselves before we come here. Some of these relationships we set up just to learn our worth. They are not meant to last. Other relationships are meant to last. And so you have to kind of look at which one am I in right now. And one of the ways to tell that would be to get some help. For you both to get help. Now, if your partner is not willing to go get help and try to understand what's really going on between the two of you, what are you going to do? You can't force someone to. So what is the lesson? What is this pain trying to teach you? Because that's what pain's all about. Pain is just a sign for us to say, what are you learning? Life isn't about, why did I do that? Life is more about, what did I learn from that? What did I learn from going through this with this person? And so you're going to have to stop. And you're going to have to start writing some things down if you want to learn from your pain and if you want to take your power back. So you'd have to write down all the things that you want in a relationship, and you would write down all the things that are happening that are making you so incredibly unhappy, and look at that and see if they're matching or not. And if they're not matching, and if your partner will not even try to get help, then the choice is yours as to whether or not you're going to stay in this pain. Because you can stay there as long as you want. It's nobody else's business, and you're certainly not going to be judged on that. It has to do with our learning. And so it's up to you. Do you want to take your lesson from the pain? Write things down. This is a very important part of this. If you do not write things down that you have learned from this lesson, then you will just go on the next time with your next partner in life, and you will either choose the same type of person because you haven't learned the lesson yet. So the being inside of you, the spirit inside of you, will not give up. They will not be put off their course of learning. So you will just keep repeating and repeating. And sometimes you will try to get the exact opposite of what you had before. And that will have its own set of lessons. We as humans will keep doing this until we take our lesson from our pain. So pain is not something here to punish us. Pain is here to say, wake up. What are you learning right now? What is going on in your life right now? And that's just kind of one example of how pain really is a blessing to us. There are other examples that we could talk about. How about excuse me, how about the pain we go through when we live a life, when we become adults, that is different from the way our family lived. Maybe we eat a different way. Maybe we don't want to go to the same church that they went to. Maybe, we don't want to live in the same area. And all of these things can cause fear to come up in a family. And what can happen is, if we are not willing to learn to be free and to live what feels best to us in here, to live our own path, then what we put up with is family or friends constantly asking us, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Why have you changed like this? And these comments will keep happening over and over and over. And this causes us to have pain in our life, because when they say these things to us, it like hurts. And so that hurt is your sign. It's not there to punish you. It's not there to punish me. It's there to say, wake up. Where is your lesson in this? And many times when it has to do with something about living your own path, the lesson is you're worth it. You are worth being happy and being free. And if you allow others to choose your path for you, you will never be happy. And so it's okay to look at your pain and say, what am I learning from this? What is this telling me? If I go back and I live the way my family is the most comfortable with, but it doesn't match with me, I'm just so incredibly unhappy. So that mental pain is telling you, this does not match. And you know what? It's okay. We don't have to be just like our loved ones. It's okay to look at your pain and ask yourself, what is this teaching me right now? What is my lesson? And if you're willing to learn the lesson that says, guess what? You have worth. You are worth being free. And if you're willing to take your power back, but still remain very kind and very loving, you can do that. You do not have to stay stuck in your lesson or stuck in your pain. You can love others and tell them how you wish to be treated. If there are people calling you on the phone or texting you or whatever your ways of communication are, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's email, and if they are constantly berating you and trying to cut you down and tell you you're being a bad person right now for living your life the way you're living it, then you've got to ask yourself if you are worth being free. And if you are worth being free, then you will let your loved ones know, I love you, but I will not let you disrespect me like this. And many times, no one has ever talked about this, so that might really confuse them at first. But you can let them know, I want you in my close circle. I want you there with me. But I will not allow the feelings that are going on between you and myself. I respect and love our relationship too much. So until you can be respectful and talk to me in kind ways and understand that this is what's making me happy, and be happy because I'm happy, then you are going to be always loved by me, but you will not be in my close circle. I will always love you, but I will not be accepting any communication from you that is not respectful and kind. Now, does this take some bravery? Yeah. I mean, whoever taught you to do that before? Nobody talks about this kind of stuff. But it is the right thing to do. No one has the right to talk to you in a way that is disrespectful or unkind or unloving in any way. You can love others from afar. Just because they are not in your close circle and you are not having a lot of communication does not mean you don't love them. It means you love them enough to not want to have that energy going back and forth between you. Now, the other part of the coin, so to speak, And understand that the pain that shows up in our life, if you will accept that deeper lesson, we have to, you have to take credit. You have to take credit for all the pain you go through. Because if you do not take this upon yourself, you will never, ever be free. No matter what has happened in your life, if you don't take responsibility for your life, take your lessons from whatever it was, release the pain because you don't need it anymore. You've taken your lesson from it now. If you cannot take 100% responsibility for anything in your life that has caused you pain, you will not be free. That thing, that person, that event will always have power over you. So it's up to you in life to take that power back. Allow yourself to learn from the pain and let it go. Now, the other side of the coin is this. Let's say you have a family member or a friend who is just cannot understand you right now, and they're very unhappy by the changes you've made in your life. And they call you and they write you, and sometimes it's an I love you, and sometimes it's a I just can't understand you. How can you do this or that, whatever it is they're doing. In life, if we do not allow our loved ones to have the consequences that come with their actions, then we are not allowing them to learn from their own pain. And this is somewhat like knowing someone is ill and not giving them the supplement they need because we know that they're not going to like it. They're going to say, that tastes bad. I don't want that. Don't give that to me. When we don't allow our loved ones to live with their consequences, it's the same thing. We keep them from learning what they needed to learn. And the timing is not up to us. It might take them a long time to learn whatever this is that they're trying to learn. Our part is to understand our pain and take our lesson from it and write it down, and then find someone to help us, with emotional freedom technique or journey work, whatever it is. Find someone to help you release it, or look online and teach ourselves how. And take our lesson, take our learning from that pain. Once we take the learning from it, chances are we won't be going through that anymore. But we also have to allow our loved ones to learn from pain. And when we can do this, this really helps. It helps you, it helps me, it helps us to find not only what we don't want in life, but also helps us narrow down what do we want in life. What am I looking forward to? What do I want to do for my work here? What is the type of person that I enjoy being around so much? Is my family worth learning through this pain and having this amazing relationship after, when the gift can be taken? So, pain is not our enemy. Pain is a gift. It is simply trying to say to us, wake up. There's a lesson here for you to learn. Open your eyes, open your heart. Learn. Don't stuff it under a table. What is the learning here that we can take from this and then let go of the pain? And this can be as easy as learning a new way to eat, because the other way was, helping us be unhealthy, and it was giving us physical pain. And if we want to keep saying, but that's not how everyone else eats, I don't want to have to eat like this. Well, the lesson here is you're not in their body. Every body is different. We have to learn to eat what's right for our own body. There's no fair here or unfair. There's just learning. How does this body need to take in nutrition? What kind of nutrition? And how do I do this? It has nothing to do with being unfair. So whatever it is that is causing you pain in life, sit down, get a quiet moment and say, instead of, why am I having to go through this? This hurts. I hate this. On and on and on. Sit down and say, what am I learning through this pain? This pain, I was told, is a blessing. So what am I learning through all of this? And, the being will not stop until it has learned what it wants to learn. You will notice with your loved ones that they, no matter what, they're going to stay on their path. Something as what would seem to us an easy decision. Let's say someone you love very much who has smoked cigarettes for a long time, and this person has just been told they have emphysema and they have a spot on their lung. And you're thinking, oh, well, they'll certainly stop smoking now. I mean, who would keep smoking when you get this prognosis? And you're shocked when your loved one continues to smoke until they have full-blown cancer, and it just rattles your brain. Why would you do that? They did that because that's part of why they came here. They wanted to understand what it's like to have that physical condition, what it's like to gain empathy from that physical condition for others. We forget we are here such a short amount of time. This is a school. This is not where we live. This is where we come to learn. So no matter what pain you are going through at this time, you can take your power back. You can write down, what is it I'm learning through this, instead of, why do I have to go through this? Because no matter what, if you do not learn, those lessons will keep repeating. It's so important to us to gain the learning we plan to gain this time around. Write it down. Release the pain when you're done with it. This is going to help you immensely in life. Be able to be a being in power here. A being who doesn't let other people decide how we are going to feel inside and what our actions will be. And we need to love others enough to let them have their medicine. Let them learn from their consequences. Love them deeply enough to allow that. And if you can do that with love, you are not going to have that loved one out of your life. Things will work out. It will be okay. I hope this has helped you understand a little bit more about pain in life. Whatever pain you're going through, I hope you will take your learning from it. I hope you will not have to repeat so many times, but if you do, and if I do, that's our choice, isn't it? So, blessings, my friends, and I hope you're having a great day. And the next video I make is going to be on how do I be happy? Bye-bye.